day number 5, guys. Birthday celebration for my sister-in-law.
That's me.
And here is my beautiful mother-in-law right here. The best ever.
Wave, man, wave.
And my brother-in-law. Alright, so we'll see you guys when we get on the safari.
Yeah.
Be cute too.
My niece did my makeup.
Yes, she did a wonderful job.
It is going to be a bumpy road out there,
We're in
and we want to make sure none of your
Africa
items are going to fall over
Safari.
this vehicle.
Kilimanjaro
Have
Safari.
those devices out and ready. I cannot stop for every animal we will be seeing along the way. Please remain seated at all times. As you guys can tell, we can't call or make noises at these animals. We are in their home, so we do want to make sure we are super friendly. Kind of behind that tree, eating from that box, you can actually see a brown animal in the right, where all the hay is kind of falling out of his mouth. That's an okapi. Now they have zebra-like back legs, but do not let that fool you because they're actually not related to the zebra at all. They're the only known relative of the giraffe, and how we actually tell that is by facial features. They have a long prehensile tongue, which allows them to grab leaves from trees. And they can also clean their ears and their eyes with that long tongue as well too. It's going to kind of act as their own little 3-for-1 deal. Now, how you tell the difference between a male and a female okapi is that males have ossetones and females do not. So that's the little quote-unquote horns on the top of their head, just like giraffes have. Over here on the left-hand side, we'll have to try to keep an eye out for a black rhino. They weigh around 3,000 pounds. Oh, there it is. Okay. So if you guys take a look on the left-hand side in front of all those rocks, in front of the rocks is where the rhino will be. It kind of looks like the rock itself.
Rhino.
So there's less than 5,000 in the world, and that is because of poaching. They're being poached for their horns that carry something known as keratin. It's the same thing that's found in your hair and fingernails too. Although they have no natural predators, us as humans unfortunately are their biggest threat, and that is because of poaching. Now there are 2 types of antelope species. It's going to be the bongo and the greater kudu. Bongos usually get the nickname of the ghosts of the forest, and that's because they can rarely be seen when hidden behind bushes and trees. You can actually see them at the top of the hill on the left. Both males and females do have horns. Now, if you ever pet a bongo, the color of their fur can actually transfer over to your hand as well. It is pretty cool. And on the left-hand side, down on the ground, in between these tall grass areas, that's the greater kudu. This is the second tallest of the antelope species. We can tell she's a female since she doesn't have any horns. And when you're touching it here, she relies more on her sound rather than her sight. We're about to enter into the Safi River, home to some of the water animals that we have out here on the reserve. One of the animals that hopefully we'll have a chance to say hi to will be a hippo. They can spend up to 8 minutes underneath the water at a time, but they do not swim. They more walk or run the bottom of the surface. That's because when fully grown, they weigh about 5,500 pounds, causing them to sink right to the bottom. You can see our hippo friend right over here on the right. Now, usually when they go to the bathroom, number 2 to be exact, they actually flutter their tail back and forth, spreading their feces everywhere around them, and it actually helps nourish nature surrounding them. So it is super gross. It actually looks like it did it just not too long ago. Really nasty, I know. You can also see some vultures too, kind of hanging out where he just went to the bathroom. Now, don't worry too much about the vultures. They are just visiting. But if you ever see them on the backs of hippos, they're usually eating their dead skin cells, keeping the vultures fat and the hippos healthy. So it's a win-win for both animals.
Watch the hippo under the water. You can see him. Floating around under the water.
If you guys take a look on the island, these are pink-backed pelicans. They may not have that pink color right now, but they will get it once it does become mating season and once they find their mate. Their wingspan is about 7 to 9 feet long, which is the same length as the canopies, grade level forehead going from left to right. They do not vocalize to communicate. Instead, they are just going to rattle their bills back and forth. And when traveling, they'll travel up to 500 of them at once. So you know, it definitely is a sight to see. And my friend's actually speaking of sights to see over here on the left is the Nile crocodile, the largest crocodile species. They can spend 2 hours underneath the water at a time, and they are as long as the giraffes are tall. That's going to range from 16 to 18 feet long. They weigh around 500 pounds, and they'll eat half of their body weight when feeding. They can eat different zebras and different types of antelope. They can also live to be up to 40 years old as well. Soon we're going to enter into the world famous savannah, home to many famous African wildlife that we do have out here on the reserve. Millions of animals migrate to the savannah every year, and in just a moment we'll see a bunch of them that do call it their home. The part that we're going to enter is known as the Serengeti grasslands. So that's where you can see some giraffes, mandrill monkeys, African elephants, African painted dogs, and so much more. Before we enter though, over here on the right, we're going to take a look at this upside down looking tree. It gets that nickname because the branches look like tree roots, making it look like it was planted upside down. But it is known as the baobab tree. With that giant tree trunk as well, it gets a more common nickname, the tree of life. That's because that trunk holds thousands and thousands of tons of water in it. It's going to conserve it all until that tree will finally grow some leaves, because it is leafless for 9 months out of the year. Now here we are, my friends, officially in the savannah, and I'd like to start every little intro into the savannah. Savannah. So let's see what friends of mine will have the chance to see here along the way. It looks like we'll get lucky seeing my friends as we go a little bit further up. You guys take a look on the right, you can actually see one of our animal caretakers. They make sure everything around the reserve is nice and clean for the animals. Sometimes they actually get to hand feed the animals too, which I'm kind of jealous about. 4 to 6 feet long, and they might look super heavy on the top of their heads, but they are actually honeycomb hollow pattern. They weigh 15 to 20 pounds each, and they use those horns to circulate blood flow throughout their bodies, so they can maintain a nice body temperature with the hot heat we tend to experience out here from time to time. I am going to move up just a little bit so you guys can get a nice view of these African painted dogs. They travel in adult packs of 5 to 15, and the highest ranking females have more dominance than the highest ranking males. When a female has a litter of pups, she can have a litter of up to 21 at a time. Now I know they probably look super cute, but their looks will be deceiving. They actually have the highest percentage rate in successful hunting of any African animal. It's close to 90%. That's because they actually come together and chase their prey till exhaustion until they'll capture it and have a nice little meal. Let's see. Here's a closer view of the Ankole cattle. I'm actually going to move up just a little bit so we can be closer to these 3 over here. Now they also get the nickname of Watusi cattle after the Watusi tribe that did domesticate them. So they're the only animals that will be domesticated as well. Now also surrounding the Ankole cattle, you guys will notice some termite mounds, like the larger one over here on the left. They are made out of dirt, spit, and animal dung. And yes, I do know that does sound a little bit nasty, but sometimes the giraffes actually use them as scratching posts to scratch their backs so they can't get that itch for themselves. And I know that I do work out here, if you guys most certainly would never ever find me this, so hopefully it won't be too long. If you guys can actually look through my windshield and look within the trees, there's a giant open gap, and there's literally a giraffe like right in there. I think we're slowly starting to move. Oh, there it goes. You guys will start to see the giraffe come momentarily. I'm gonna start walking.
We're in a giraffic jam, she says. That's cute.
Now giraffes sleep for no more than 30 minutes a day, but they do their sleeping standing up, never lying down. And that's so they can defend themselves from their predators. The only times they will sleep lying down is when they don't feel threatened by the other animals that will be surrounding them. Now giraffes can run. They run the same speed as a rhinoceros, which is about 35 miles per hour. And they do in fact make a sound too. It sounds pretty similar to the sound that a sheep is going to make. This one was courteous and stopped to the side of the road for us.
Oh, look at him.
Now a group of giraffes like we will see soon will be known as a tower, while a group of running giraffes will be known as the Tower of Terror.
Wow, close up. Hey.
If you guys take a look over here on the right-hand side of the top, oh my gosh,
again. He's in the middle of the road.
I was a little alarmed. I didn't see him standing so close in the road, and I got really scared. Whew, okay. Even though I shouldn't be alarmed, they're around me all the time. Hi.
Hello.
Oh no.
No, don't come this way, no. Oh shit.
Hello.
You're like, hey.
One time this one giraffe didn't want to like stop me, like he stopped me the entire time I was in the savannah. Like every time my truck would pass in the ride path, he would just come and then stop. And then he started licking my truck. So I was like, alright. Now my friends, this giraffe I should say, is going to be really close to my truck, so I won't be able to make a full stop since it is wild and we don't know what he'll actually do at any point in time. So have those cameras out and ready. Oh, hello. Oh, okay, you're just going to start running now. It's nice. There we go. Now it's a little further so I can stop.
Jeep cylinder?
Yeah, as you guys can see, their personalities are really something, so you can never know what's going to happen. Alright. So my friends, we're going to keep on coming this way, and it looks like soon we will be reaching elephant country. Now, Kilimanjaro out of nowhere, you don't see any elephants right away. We can also see them once we do go a little bit further into our savannah adventure. Oh, and we're going to get pretty lucky. I do see my friend. The elephants move their giant ears back and forth, kind of acting as their own little personal AC unit. By moving their ears back and forth, it could actually cool their body temperature down by 15 degrees. They throw mud, dirt, and sand on their back, so it's going to act as their own little natural sunscreen as well. Elephants actually do have it there. So my friends, please. Oh, she's so cute. The best is when it rains because she loves the rain, so she usually rolls around in the puddles and everything. It's so cute. It looks like she's starting to slowly walk down, so maybe we'll see her once we go further up. Surrounding us, these are the wildebeest. They go through a great migration. So they travel about 500 to 1,000 miles all throughout Africa. 1.5 million of them started in it. They get a nickname of the New after the noise that they make, but it's spelled G-N-U. And they can go up to 5 days without consuming any water. There's the baby. If you look over your left-hand shoulder, she'll be there a little bit better view. Maybe a little hard to see because she's like kind of hiding behind that rock and everything. Over here on the left, this is Flamingo Island, home to greater flamingos. They are the lightest shade of pink of a type of flamingos. The color white, they get the name white rhino from the Swahili word of vite, meaning wide, describing their wide jawline. So originally they weren't known as white rhinos, but because of miscommunication, people heard white, called them the white rhino, and then that kind of just stuck. They weigh a little bit more than a black rhino. They actually use their tail to steer them in a right or left direction as well as keep balance. There's another one up over here too. It's going to be in this hay area, just lying down with its back facing us. So if you guys look within those trees, there's the hay. It's going to be lying down. So if you look at these two trees on the left-hand side, looking kind of closer to the right-hand corner, it'll be right there. And hopefully in just a moment we'll get a chance to see another wildcat, which will be the lion. Fingers crossed won't be taking their cat nap. They do sleep time. Only 17 were left in the world until a farmer came across them. He brought all a sphere. They run about 40 miles per hour and weigh up to 250 pounds. I was not lying to you guys. There will be some lions over here on the left. You'll be lucky to be able to see all three. It's pretty rare to see all three during this time of day. Not only will male lions carry a lot of weight for their pride, he carries a lot of weight in that mane of his too. It's going to range from 40 to 50 pounds. And since they are awake, at least the two females, there is a chance we can hear their roar, as it can be heard from up to 5 miles away. Their backs are going to be facing us. They kind of look like giant hairy rocks kind of in the corner. Now warthogs are related to the domestic pig. How we tell the difference between a male and a female is that males have extra fat between their eyes and their tongues. Like a lion. Fun fact is that Puka is not Swahili for warthog, it's Swahili for foolish. Exhibiting his personality throughout the entire film. There's some more white rhinos, and over here down on the ground, those giant yellow eggs on the right, those are ostrich eggs. Each one weighs about 3 pounds and is equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. Ostrich eggshells are so strong that if one of us tried to stand on them, they would crack, so they have some excellent protection. Here's the ostrich. They're scary, bro. And it might sound pretty shocking, but their kick is so powerful that it can actually kill a lion. That's like kind of scary. Put it all into his body until it will start to sweat. And it's actually at a temperature of 115 degrees Fahrenheit. He's looking a little camera shy too.
Last time we were here, there was a lot of pots and pans all over the place. There's no part of it. It's moving a little too. So we can see. I know. Oh, Lord. Man har tände bara tös, like chatten about it. Oh, they put them on his back and just put up in the air.
Stuck up, huh? They're too good for us.
Oh, that way they're putting on a show. Oh, turn around now, hi. He's camera shy. Oh, he's sniffing on this arm. Oh, okay. They camera shy. They like, so I can't about all the people every day, you know. They look like he in punishment. He was keeping bad. He can't let this on the side. Jessica, the big one to say hi. Go and walk in there to get me. Oh, everybody running there. Get up now. This one have a baby in his boat too, is it? Oh, yes. Look at this big one. Look at this one. Oh, gosh. That one, they look miserable. They're gonna hide. They had enough. They had enough of us.